ready to go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy late birthday, little errands.
Oh god, also it was really funny, because when you know, we're all singing happy birthday over here, and like they did the the first the happy birthday to you, and then like I did a little movement afterward, and I guess like Sunny caught the movement that I did, and she was like, oh, she's expecting a cha-cha-cha, and so she did that the next time. It was really funny. I was like, you freaking know. You know what I'm expecting.
She sounds like a good improv person.
Yes.
Thank you
good
for
comedic
releasing
timing.
Spyro. Free 10 dragons in the artisan world.
Yeah, Con,
then find
Marxia,
the
and Trigger.
balloonist.
Hello.
He'll transport you to the next world.
What the belated
What
birthday
about
wishes.
Nasty Nork? I'm going after him.
Find dragons first. That's all I can tell you.
How are all y'all peeps doing? And terminate J. When was the last time I updated you on our cats?
I don't remember.
Because, boy, do we have some updates.
God, what happened now?
Okay, so, let's see. I told you how, Skinny Minnie, the mama cat, came back and had her litter, right?
Yeah.
So there's 6 little babies. They're all tiny. They're about a month old already. They're super cute. We've got them in the backyard. They're super, super cute. At the same time that she had come back, like 3 other female cats we have in the front got pregnant around the same time. And we were like,
Oh.
we're about to have like, the most these cats around here have been having are about 6 per litter. So we were fully expecting about a good fucking like 24 little kittens or so. But some weird things were happening with some of them,
I'll torch him.
and the majority of them miscarried.
You have much to learn
Oh.
first. Do you know what
So,
the dragonfly
either,
following you
like,
is doing?
Some of them were like
His
still
name is
fetuses,
Sparks,
and it was
he's
just,
helping
it
in
was a little
protecting
gross to
you.
see, but like,
Keep an eye on him and see
some
what
of
I
them
mean.
were just kind of aborted out, I guess is the term you'd say for a cat to have it done to them. One of them, we named her Fury because she only has one eye. She was the one, if I remember telling you about her, she
Yeah.
she had both her eyes, and then she had some infections in, but we couldn't get a hold of her because she was real skittish. And that infection above her eye kept growing up into her eye, and then once it all drained, it just took her eye with it, so she only has one eye now.
That's horrible.
But we named her Fury because of Nick Fury.
Oh. Well, at least she got a cute name out of it.
So we had some fun with this.
Anyway, let's see who's here. Thank you, everybody.
Hey, Spyro.
Hey, Travis,
Press
what's
the
up?
jump button twice to glide.
Trey,
At
Jason Gordon, little Brian Curtis. So she had some babies, except her babies all came out like stillborns. So we had to bury all of them. It was pretty crazy. That was our day the last couple days. We found a new one every other day. But today, one of our Siamese cats, we named her Bandit, she just had a litter, but this one survived, and now those babies are alive. So she literally gave birth to them as we were about to leave for Vaughn's just right now. So she is still in the process of trying to push them all out and everything, but she's resting right now. And what I just saw before you press start for your stream is she's got 3 of them at the moment. There's 1 black one and 2 little white babies.
Oh.
So she's caring for them right now. And then we have our 6 little month-old dudes in the back just chilling, and they're all playing, and they're learning how to run and climb and shit, and I'm like, uh-oh, they're becoming mobile.
Oh no. They're using their claws.
Well, we've handled tons of kittens already at this point, so I don't mind it. We're getting all scratched up from them. Whatever, it comes with the territory.
Right.
I remember I used to never pick up cats or dogs when I was a kid because I was always afraid of getting bitten or scratched by them, but at this point, now that we're cat owners, it doesn't faze me anymore. Trevor says a new laptop and wants to know if you can join into the PC.
Oh, yeah, sure. Just a sec. Pause that real quick. Here, I'll send you the link.
What?
Whoa. What happened? Hey, what's going on? The fuck?
What happened?
The whole window just separated into its own thing.
Oh, did you unhook it from the window from the rest of the tabs?
I mean, I guess I did. I didn't feel like I was doing that.
I hate when that happens. I do it by accident sometimes too.
Alright, let's,
Do you plan on seeing the Mario movie soon or when it comes out on DVD?
I mean, I wanted to see it in theaters, but, like, I just don't know when.
It's doing stupidly well right now. It's just past the 700 for worldwide sales at the box office, or not sales, but at the box office. It just surpassed the $700 million threshold. It is, and it hasn't even released. Apparently, it hasn't even released in Japan yet. And I was like, "What?
What?
How?
How? It's their thing.
I know, but
They
once
own
it does,
Mario.
once it does, Japan is going to effortlessly push them into the 1 billion threshold.
Yeah.
They're very close. They're 300 million away. A little less than. I'm sure they're not exactly at 700. They're probably a little over. That's how much they made at the box office these first 2 weeks. Opening week, it was like almost 400 million alone last week.
Wow.
And it's already almost doubled. Well, it actually has doubled. A little more than doubled for this week. It's only been there for 2 weeks.
I mean, I could have seen it yesterday because, like, that's the other thing that all the KT people were doing. But, I don't know. I just like, you know, it was just so busy on Saturday, and like yesterday, I wasn't really feeling very well. So.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, I hear a man. You're quiet though, but I do hear you.
Yeah, just turn the mic up maybe a little bit.
Turn your gain up to 5,000 gains.
I'm a little bit new to it, so,
Okay. Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, and you turned from an anonymous whatever you were right now into Travis. Hello.
Into Travis.
You transformed. How's it going, Home Slice? Oh, also, if you changed right now, you might need to hit the mic button again because now we can't hear you. It's not talking.
oh.
Yeah,
There you
there.
are. Hello.
Yeah, sorry about that. I have no idea what happened just now.
You were transformed from an anonymous, whatever the animal was, which popped up as into you because you signed in.
Yeah, that's odd.
Alright, but now you're here, and everything's good.
Yeah. Now the whole group's together.
Yay!
Sure is.
We have Owen the Nerd and Ethan and Super Tuck and Chris Critton below. You happen to know Chris Critton Jr.?
No, I do not.
Oh.
Oh.
He says, I've been in college for a while. I haven't spent much time with you in such a long time.
Jordan, well.
That doesn't mean
Hello,
IRL.
Jordan.
Oh, okay. Now.
I mean, I know, I recognize the name as someone from streams before.
Oh, Jordan, whoa. Danny Adams. Sounds like Danny Fan. Oh, it says happy birthday.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. How can everyone hear Travis? Is he coming through clearly?
Disclaimer, I am a little bit new to this thing, so chances are my knowledge for figuring out what to do with a microphone might be 1% to 0%, so yeah.
Seems like everyone can hear him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. I mean, you both are coming through on the, like, the same audio, like, bit, so, yeah.
Alright, cool. Game audio's fine, everything's good, everything's balanced.
Yep.
Solid with the 690 saying happy late birthday.
That means we're
For
gonna
those
get the
triggering
thing.
the trigger.
Da-da-da-da.
It's gonna be silly fox slow.
There it is. Thank you, Solid.
Balanced, as all good things should be.
Got it.
Yeah, it is weird. I mean, I know that movies, depending on where they're made or whatever, it is just, yeah, I don't know what determines, depending on what region something is made in, when other regions get to experience that thing. But I think it is just really odd, even though Illumination's a Western studio, that Japan, who made Mario, isn't getting the movie yet for a little while longer.
I think the reason it hasn't been released in Japan yet might probably have something to do with the dubbing. That's the only reason I could think of.
Maybe.
Okay. That would make sense. Yeah, because it's different for like everything, whether it's a movie or a game. For many reasons. Supertech asked, what's the first Spyro game that y'all have played? For me, it was the very first Spyro game, the OG.
Yep.
I played a demo of
the
it.
original version.
Oh yeah, it was definitely the OG Spyro for me.
Travis, did you experience it? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
That was actually the very game that got me into dragons, and that's why you're seeing my Sona right now.
That is why you are in fact Travis the Dragon.
Yes. I love dragons so much that I eventually became a dragon, which is not very surprising.
On all
Spyro,
levels
my
but physical,
friend.
you are a
How
dragon.
about a hint on gliding?
Rawr.
You bet.
For the longest glide, press the jump button at the
roar.
top of your jump, and try
All
pressing
levels
the
except
action
physical?
button to drop
I
down
know.
mid-flight.
I just like to think of myself as a dragon when I feel like it.
You're like, damn, I wish I could breathe fire right now. Speaking of being a dragon, we just passed me. We passed Gildas.
Yeah, you.
I love Gildas. I love
How about a hint on gliding?
I love Gilly. I love both of them. I love the original for Spyro, my friend, but I love this one too because he looks like a Dragon Tales dragon.
Dragon Tales, Dragon Tales.
Just the way it's
Kinda
designed
does,
here.
actually.
Yeah. My first instinct was to be like, if you were in 2D, like if I saw concept art of you, you would very much look like a Dragon Tales character.
Probably.
I was gonna ask you earlier though, did you experience the full game first on disc, Travis, or did you happen to have played Spyro 1 on a demo disc first?
Well, I actually got the full version of the disc. I played it on the PlayStation 2 when it was the only console we had at the time.
Ooh. Ah, okay.
That's cool.
Though I never
Spyro
actually
1
beat
on
the game when
PS1.
I didn't actually beat the game when I was a kid because I was too stupid to get so far. The furthest I got was in Peacekeepers.
Me too, actually. As a small kid, I only got that far as well.
Well, that's not entirely true. So I got... Well, speaking of Peacekeepers, like, that's one of the dragons I couldn't get. I couldn't get Maximos from Dry Canyon. I didn't know how to get him. But I went a lot further than that. I got up until, like the very end. But I couldn't beat Nasty Nork.
Darn.
Yeah, and then I gave the game away. So I didn't beat him for a long time, but then I got Spyro 2 and I finished that 100%, and then I said, you know what, I would like to go back and finish the first game, so I got it again, and I finished it, and then I had the guidebook, so I was able to get all the dragons and then everything, and finally finish it 120%.
I'll be honest, the first time I ever completed the game 100% was probably like many months after I graduated high school, which was right before Reignited was released. And the reason is because of those spiders from the high caves. I did not want to go anywhere near them until finally I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna kill them all and stop being the baby I was. And I did.
It's really funny what you get afraid of when you're a kid from PS1 games, or just early games in general, because things like that didn't freak me out, but you would think like the spiders from, well, again, I didn't even get that far as a kid. If anything, I remember what unnerved me. It didn't scare me, it just kind of slightly unnerved me, was my mom got further than I did when we were way younger and I was little, and the wizards from Wizard Peak, I think specifically is where it was. They kind of freaked me a little bit as a kid, but I don't even remember. I have a faint recollection of being there at that time when I was that little and seeing them, because my memories are a little fuzzy from seeing Magic Crafters as a kid. But then when I actually got there on my own way later, I wasn't really freaked out. I recognized them, but I wasn't freaked out. But like, the stuff that one of the most embarrassing ones I think that freaked me out for whatever reason, I still can't fathom why to this day, was Tarzan from Reignited 1 and his weird mumbling when he wants you to get his little loincloth. I don't know why, he freaked me out.
I have a bit of an embarrassing memory about the game, and I didn't even make it far enough to realize that the spider was big.
Wait, you're kind of cutting out a bit. What was that?
So what I was afraid of when I was a kid, before I even got to Magic Crafters, it was definitely those big Norks from Dark Hollow with the metal chests, like
yeah,
the ones that would push me back. I was like, oh god, that's so creepy.
I actually liked those.
I like them too. Yeah. I always really liked the big Norks because I thought they had really cute faces.
I was weird in my own way as a small, like, 3-4-year-old child, and I used to sometimes, if I didn't know names of characters, whatever, it was either that, which was mainly a thing in Crash, like I didn't know characters' names yet, so I'd give them different names or call them different things. And with Spyro, I would just liken family members to certain characters. So every time as a kid, I would play Dark Hollow, whether it was the demo or the full game, I would see those Norks and be like, look, Grandma, that's you, and the other one is Grandpa. I don't know why. That was just a weird kid thing to do.
Look, it's you.
I actually appreciate how it gives off that cartoony feel. The thing is, I used to be like afraid of every little thing in those games. I was a really
like
weird
this
kid back
Nork
then.
with the
I remember one of the... I suppose what I was afraid of back in the day, since this would be the second instance of something kind of similar. In the PS1, I don't know if you would call it a remake. It was like the modern version of it at the time for Space Invaders. You get all the way up to Earth, and you're on Earth, and you're fighting. You're doing, shooting the aliens. But in the soundtrack, well, sort of. For some reason, where they decided to put you on Earth, what they themed Earth after was Japan. So every so often, I don't know if it was supposed to, I don't even know if it was supposed to be on an overhead, like a speaker or something. I'm not really sure because it didn't have that effect on the voice. But every so often, some Japanese woman would start speaking, and I had no idea where it was coming from or what it was. So it used to freak me out. And what made it worse was when you try to pause the game, she would still talk sometimes. The music and all the other sounds would cut out, but the voice would keep going, and it freaked me the hell out.
Actually, I wasn't scared of anything in Spyro, which is really weird. Like, when I was a kid, you think I would have been scared of something, but I really wasn't.
I honestly admire you for that.
Like, I thought that certain things were creepy. Like, if I was scared of anything, it would be, it would be like the number one of my top 10 scary things, which is like the snowmen and frozen altars. Like, they're scary. Like, they didn't scare me in like the traditional sense, but I think they're scary.
I mean, that would make sense. I mean, look at those faces.
Yeah.
Well, I think too, I was maybe a little slightly unnerved by them, but not ever really scared of them. I think what also does it is their size, because when you see the cutscene as I'm shaking Spyro, they're so big.
Yeah, they are really big. I think, like, another thing probably might have been the, like, the plants, the dragon-eating plants in Misty Bog. And, like, although that wasn't so much fear as it was anger, I was so pissed off at those things because they kept eating me.
Oh yeah, they can be annoying to deal with sometimes. But not as annoying as the tax frogs, though. They're a pain in the ass to deal with, trust me.
I don't remember having too much trouble with them when I was a kid, but, like, then they started getting really annoying.
Well, for nowadays, I've discovered what you can do as a little way to kind of get the one up on them is to try to flame them with the very tip of your flame. Try to gauge that distance between your flame and the frog, and so you can technically, quote unquote, flame him from a distance, and you can still get him. So try and stay as far away from him and get him with the tip of your flame. That's a pretty easy way to dispatch them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would think that with the atmosphere of some levels from Crash 1, like Generator Room or Slippery Climb, that would have made me afraid of them, but I was never scared of those levels. Because I've heard other people be like, yeah, Generator Room was so creepy, or like, the music in like Slippery Climb was so creepy. I'm like, well, it's unnerving for sure, it's supposed to be, but I never found it scary.
Yeah, it's just little things, things that, like, normally one wouldn't be afraid of in video games. I was like, you know what actually scared me in a video game? Something I, like, It's not even that scary, but for some reason it was just like the atmosphere that I didn't like. It was the opening cutscene of the PS1 Xena game. I would always skip it because it scared me.
Miles says happy birthday.
Thank you.
I'm not a bot, that's a good name. Because I'm seeing the Mario movie this weekend. Nice.
I still have yet to see the Mario movie. I still want to watch it, I just never really had the time for personal reasons. So yeah.
Whenever you get the time, I would definitely say try to give it a watch.
I heard people say it's good. I'm just a little worried about the story because I heard that it's a little too fast-paced.
Yeah.
You know what? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna, let's have a... Hey everyone. I don't mean to take over the stream with the commentary, but let's have a little conversation real quick.
Hey everyone. Shut up.
I'm about to... Hi guys.
I think I may have somehow instigated it, so it's probably my fault.
No, you're fine. Well, I feel, well, having been the only one in this chat, in this voice chat that's seen it, I'm gonna dispel something real quick, and it's not gonna be spoilery or anything like that. I'm just gonna clarify the story thing. Okay. I find it hilarious that people who are fans of the games were all like, yeah, you know, I mean, why would you make a complicated Mario plot? Because Mario games are simple, and they're supposed to be simple, and that's what makes them fun. And now everyone saying the movie is all like, plot was too short, plot was too simple. Like, what? That's the most backwards ass shit I've ever heard of a complaint of the movie. Like, what? Like, okay, so the reason why it may feel too short is because it is a very straightforward story. They don't dawdle. You know how sometimes movies can drag on, there'll be scenes that feel unnecessary, there are scenes that feel like they should have been cut down. There really aren't any of those in the Mario movie. It's not like it's action all the time, because they do have some slow moments here and there, but there is a lot of traveling from place to place. You check back with Luigi every so often. There is a lot of action for what it's worth. But it's really cool, and they do take some time for you to see each new location. They do, and you've probably seen it in the, you know, little snippets, like the clips or like the trailers, but like, they do montage a couple places, and I mean, sure, if you wanted to make the length a little longer, maybe we could have spent a couple more minutes like in a couple different areas. It's a lot like, okay, I said this, because we did a podcast episode on the movie. I said it's pretty much the quote-unquote Wreck-It Ralph effect, where when the trailers came out and everything, you saw all these things, all these characters, and all these, you know, games you were gonna go through. You're like, oh shit, he's game hopping? Wow, that must mean he's gonna go through like all these games, and he goes through like what, 2 in the final movie. So if you think they're gonna spend a lot of time in all these different like kingdoms and locations from the games, no. They get to the most important places they need to get to and then back, and that's probably why it feels short. But that's not any fault of the movie itself or the storytelling, because the storytelling was still very strong. And the characters are very strong. So I don't want people saying it was too short, is this and that, to like deter anyone or start putting, you know, planting doubts into people's heads. No, it's a very fun time.
I think I get what you mean, Mark. I mean, I think the selling point in the games was most of the gameplay, probably.
Yeah.
Wow! You are you ready to go?
And speaking as someone who has played Mario games before, and especially Super Mario Odyssey, yeah, they're a lot of fun.
Yeah, and like the what makes the games fun too is how much, you know, the action in that sense, like when compared to a movie, would be when you're playing, and then you get the cutscenes where you just watch and see what happens. So the Mario movie follows those kinds of beats where they've got their moments where it's either build up or a slow moment, so you can just get a little bit of backstory on a character or this and that, and you just get to watch and see and be like, oh hey, here's a little bit of fan service here, here's like a reference there, and they get to like kind of weave some of that stuff into the story, which is really cool. And other times, yeah, it's action, and it's fucking dope, and it's
Welcome
awesome.
to Peacekeepers. Look how our treasure has been stolen and turned against us.
Please,
I
recover
What
our
I've seen in the
treasure,
trailers
Spyro.
and the clips,
Collect treasure. Got
it
it.
does make me feel like I'm actually playing the game, except I'm not even using the controller.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think that's
do.
what video game movies should. I think that's the feeling that some video game movies should get.
A lot of them just don't hit that mark. In fact, that's one of the main problems people have. At least that's what I've been led to believe. Because then the Sonic movies happened and everyone started defending them from me, and it's like, bruh, okay. But my whole point was like, is that not, you know, why people kept saying that video game movies in the past weren't sticking with them and weren't doing so well, and that's why they didn't straight up, you know, like them, because they weren't very faithful adaptations. Like, what makes, you know, I still think it's so weird and so almost backwards, controversial thought that, you know, people don't like the Ratchet movie, but everyone loves the Sonic movies. That baffles me still.
Actually like the Sonic movies, but adaptations, and I do like them. While I do think they're good, they're obviously not perfect. I mean, what movie is on?
Well, it's like Mark and I watched Sonic 2 recently, and like I was because like everyone says like, oh man, Sonic 2 is so good, like oh my god, it's like a masterpiece of film, and I'm just like, okay, maybe it's like I guess it's like really good at it, and I'm like, I wonder why. And then we just watched it recently. I didn't think it was a masterpiece. I mean, I liked it. I mean, I enjoyed it, I guess. But I don't know. I didn't find anything like masterful about it at all.
I'll say this much: Sonic 2 did manage to do what Sonic 1 couldn't, which was make me laugh. It only made me laugh one time, and it wasn't even a Sonic game fan service related joke or anything, which I still think is really odd. Like, doing the obvious shit and shoehorning in a Sonic reference or a this or that here and there was just bound to happen, and those aren't going to make me laugh. But if they would have done a funny, clever joke in referencing the games, it would have made me laugh. But the joke that they went for, which has nothing to do with, it's not a Sonic gag. You could put this type of gag in any other movie, like any other cartoon. It's like a SpongeBob joke, and it would work just as well. Where they're at that bar, restaurant, whatever the fuck they were place, and the fish head rolls over to them and says, "Run!" Like that shit was funny. But
Yeah,
like,
well, that's a very
not
specific type of
thing.
humor.
Like, it is a very specific type of humor, but that could
I
work in
actually
any-
liked that joke.
That's
Yeah.
the only time that movie made me laugh.
But yeah, I do understand where you're coming from with this.
Well done, Spyro. Keep up the good work, and I know you'll fulfill your
No, but the
destiny.
reason why the Mario movie is
Destiny?
doing so well,
I just want to kick some.
one of the things I was
Just
saying
toast
too
those
was
enemies and collect the
there's a part of
treasure.
me that wishes Mario wasn't like a worldwide icon and that hugely recognizable of a character, so that way if it still had the same amount of care and attention, but was, say, like not even like obscure, just a like Crash, like a moderately well-known franchise, like everyone, but not by everyone in the world. Like, you don't even have to play video games, but just say, name a video game character. Oh, it's Mario. Like, you know, anyone could just say that and be correct. But if Mario wasn't that well known and that beloved, but still had this level of care and attention put to the movie, I wonder if it would still have done good, even if the IP or brand wasn't that recognizable. Like, I wonder if it would make these big of numbers as it is right now. Because I still feel like it would deserve it. Because even if we live in that reality and I didn't know Mario as well, this still feels like the games. That's like the biggest thing for an adaptation. They adapted the games in and the logic of the games into movie form very fucking well. The best I've ever seen in any video game movie I've ever watched. Whether it was as a kid with Mortal Kombat or the Tekken anime, you know, up to the Sonic movies or Uncharted even. I think the Mario movie did it the best in terms of adapting the games into a movie form.
Yeah.
Or format even.
Yeah, even from the trailers I've seen, I'm hoping that if there are any other games that are being adapted into the big screen, I do hope that they actually capture the same feel. That's why I hope that other games like Spyro get this adaptation one day. Like, yeah, there was technically going to be a Legend of Spyro movie, and I actually did make a video about that. I even read the entire script. There's actually a leaked script, by the way. And let's just say it's not very good. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah,
like
I'm sure we all know about that.
it's no surprise that it was canceled.
Actually, I haven't read the script yet, so I don't know what was in it.
Well, it's not very good.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
still
gonna
at the
say
game,
this.
so like I would need
I'm
to
gonna
read
say
it.
this
That's
much.
someone who does
I'm gonna
like
say
it.
this much, okay? It has some stuff that makes you question the mentality of the writer. That's all I'm gonna say.
I was really disappointed by the lack of Cinder when I read that script. I was like, what the hell is she?
Yeah, Cinder is hardly in this movie. Like, she
Well,
was
also-
advertised as the main villain, but nah, it's just Malifaux.
Also, what draft of the script even was the one that leaked out? Like, it
I
could have
think
been
I think it was the fourth draft, actually.
So, like, who knows if that's even what it was going to be like by the time they actually started making it? It could have been overhauled. It could have been drastically changed. Could have had some tweaks if it kept going.
If I remember correctly,
Hold on.
I think the writers stated that they don't remember any other script being made after the fourth one, so it was most likely the closest one we would have gotten to the final version of the film.
Yeah. Jace says, Miharu's thoughts on Sonic 2, why I don't want to see the new Puss in Boots. Okay, no. The Last Wish is actually a very good movie. You really should see it. That is actually a very
I
good
can agree with.
is very solid.
I think it's one of the.
It's very fun.
I think it's one of the best movies I've ever watched.
I still
And
need to
because
see
in
it.
some ways I can actually relate to Puss.
Yeah. Yeah, it has great characters. It has like really really solid emotional moments.
Also, can we talk about how fantastic the art style is?
Yeah, and it does have a very very clean animation as well.
Yeah, it actually gave me a new appreciation for choppy animation during the action scenes. 'Cause
Yeah.
it gives you a much
drops.
clearer view of the action poses.
I'm very curious as to. I wonder if anyone's done any video essays yet. I'm sure they have on a bunch of their animation buffs on how and why Spider-Verse started this like kind of renaissance of those types of almost stop motion like CGI movies.
Yeah, I
I
suppose.
mean,
new-
if you want to get technical, it was probably the Lego.
Lego Movie definitely popularized it, but the Spider-Verse movie took it like even further. It really stuck with people with Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Because it was that much more detailed. Not that Lego Movie wasn't detailed, because it certainly was, but it was such a new concept. People were like, wow, that's very unique to that movie. And then when Spider-Verse came out, people were like, okay, I guess this is a thing we're doing now. And
Yeah,
then
and
sure
now
enough, it was.
everybody's doing it because like the new TMNT is doing it. And stuff.
I was about to say TMNT, Puss, the new, obviously, Across the Spider-Verse is coming out soon. Just animation techniques, and even when you break down stuff like, I love when people do this, like go this far for detail when they did not have to in the slide. With that animation in mind too, and when frames drop and all of that, even Miles, how he's animated, the frame rate he starts at, which shows his like innocence and him having to come into his own as the new Spider-Man, and then he's animated at the same frame rate as everyone else by the end of the movie because he's finally, Spider-Man. So it's shit like that. I didn't have to do that, but it just lends to his fucking character growth, and it's awesome.
Yeah. But no, Jace, I totally get what you mean. I totally get it because when people were talking about it on Twitter, I was just like, yeah, I thought they were overhyping it too. Like, I completely understand that. And I was like, all right, well, you know what? I'll see it, and I'll judge it for myself. Hold on. Von Bob with the 69. God. Oh my God, you're awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Happy birthday,
Didn't have to do
Miharu.
that. Thank you.
Good job with the donation, though. You're awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Real quick, is our audio fine? Because I'm not about saying that it was kind of cutting off a little. Are we good now?
Incredible
no,
drawing,
everything-
Spyro.
no, everything's
I thought I'd
fine.
be stuck here forever with those ugly vultures standing on my
Everything
head.
should be fine.
Those birds might look tough, but they're pretty tasty.
Sorry to interrupt you guys.
Anyway, what was I saying? No, I completely understand like the overhype. Yeah. But I was like, all right, I'll see it once the hype dies down a little bit, and then I'll have like more room to like breathe and like judge it. And I'll be like, yeah, it's actually a really, really good movie. I think what people were praising about it though is like aren't even the best parts about it, because you know people are praising like the art style, the animation, what's his fucking panic attack, whatever. Like that's a weird thing to praise. I'm just gonna say it's a weird thing to praise.
They can relate to it, Aaron.
Yeah,
That's
well,
what panic attacks actually are like IRL.
I understand. Relatability is a good thing. I understand. But it was just a weird thing to say, I guess, out of context. But
It has people.
yeah. Oh, go ahead, Travis.
Oh, they're coming out again.
Oh no.
Dun, 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 dun.
Snake, what happened?
Oh, there you are.
There you
No,
go.
Bro, you literally cut out. We
Yeah,
couldn't
you
hear
cut
after
out.
a while.
Yeah, I didn't know what you were saying.
Okay, I think people praise the scene, the panic attack scene, is because it was done in a way that feels real.
Real, of course.
I think that's why people enjoy it.
Yeah, no, that, like, and I totally get that. It's just, like, I guess out of context, it's a weird thing to, like, praise, like, a cartoon movie about, but,
Okay,
like...
well, because in hindsight as well, Finding Dory did it, and people said the same thing there, too.
Yeah.
When you're told something that you can't believe, and you don't know if it's even real or not, so you have this fucking, like, internal moment where everything else just blurs out, and she had that in the movie, and so people were like, damn, that was emotional, I felt that, like, that's kind of, you know...
I feel like nobody
Yeah,
like
even I ended up doing that.
hyped that one up. Like no one like talked about Finding Dory in the same way. I thought that was a good movie too. Like one of just
yeah,
like
me too.
just like Finding Nemo, it made me cry too. So I think it's.
What part made you cry?
Ah, God.
Sometimes it can tug on your heartstrings.
Yeah. What part did it?
Was it when she got lost and she didn't
I think
know
it
where to
was.
go?
I think it was I think it was probably that part.
Because that was a big moment.
Yeah. If a movie can make me cry, or you know, like tear up in some way, I'm gonna praise that movie. I'm gonna think, yeah, like that did it. That did it.
It made my face leak. I give it a 10 out
My
of 10
face.
onions.
Oh damn! It's like speaking of,
I'm not crying, you're crying.
I'm not crying. No, I'm not crying. What that Dane Cook bit. No, I'm not crying. Shut up.
Ethan, you should watch Finding Dory. It was pretty okay.
Like crying in the car and you don't want anyone to know. But
Cry in the bathroom. You don't want anyone to know.
God, it's the worst.
Crying in the shower.
When I cry in the shower. Definitely no one will know because like the water's already all around you.
Cry in the rain.
Alright. The best place to cry.
I don't know.
Let's say something about
My eyes
crying.
are sweaty. That's a good one.
Guys, remember.
Wait. Remember what now? Sorry, you cut out again.
It made me think of that one moment where the character Muscle Man was crying in the shower.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Monkey D. Sergio, that's a good name. Do you know if Spyro 4 will most likely be announced at Summer Game Fest?
Well,
It could
I'm hoping.
That's what we're all thinking.
I think it could possibly be announced sometime later this year and then released sometime in 2024 because that's the next Year of the Dragon, obviously.
Yes.
So I think that would make sense.
Super Tuck asks if you've seen Finding Nemo, of course.
Oh,
I mean, who hasn't seen
I love
Finding Nemo?
This is a good movie. I like when she say just keep swimming.
I like when she say, stop it.
She calls him, when she calls him Fabio. I like fish are friends, not food.
Except stinking dolphins.
I like when he says, name's Bruce.
How's a dragon
I'm
supposed
Bruce.
to flame metal armor anyway?
I like Bruce.
Remember,
Like,
Spyro,
that's his
flame
accent.
won't
Where-
work
where
on
you
metal,
from?
but charging with your horns, that should do the trick.
Joy, are you okay?
Oh, Jesus, that. Yeah, that moment. Blood.
It's blood in a kid's
Blood in a kids movie? How dare you? It's time to boycott the shit.
Yeah, it's actually really funny because I kept thinking that Up was the first Pixar movie to show blood, but nope, Finding Nemo was the first one.
It had blood rising underwater, which is kind of creepy.
That whole scene was pretty unnerving
Yeah.
because now Bruce
I
is
was
acting
honestly
on
more
instinct.
afraid of Bruce's eyes than the blood, to be honest.
Yeah, because now he's acting on instinct. Now he's
Well,
just
yeah.
become feral.
He's like become full shark mode.
He's fully fledged shark.
Yeah, he's ready to kill.
Sharks are scary. I think sharks are kind of cute when they have their
Sharks
mouths
are scary.
when they have their mouths closed. When they open their mouths, they're scary.
Oh yeah.
Miharu 2023. Sharks are scary.
Sharks are scary, yes.
Sharks are scary.
I've seen sharks swim around in aquariums before. They're kind of cute.
Yeah, I've seen little tiny sharks.
Yeah, when they're not out for blood.
Yeah.
Yo, Sergio, we're already a couple. Please don't do that. He ships us together.
Well, I mean, thank you because we're.
But we're also
Yeah.
already a couple.
Yeah, you can't ship a
he's doing the
couple that's
ship room
already a
couple
thing.
though.
That's not true. You could totally ship already couples.
Are you okay? I thought
Fine.
you wouldn't really like that.
What do you mean?
I thought that was a thing that you said was a little disturbing. Was
Oh no, it's disturbing when
Real people.
when people ship like two people together who like don't know each other or like
okay.
yeah like no because that's creepy because like what the hell like if you say it to us because we're dating like it's like it's fine I don't care but it's creepy in like any other sense.
Oh, all right. Sorry, you're good. I guess. Sorry. Sorry. What'd you say earlier, Travis? I didn't mean to interrupt you. No. You're fine. You're fine, Sergio. You're fine. I was saying don't do that again on behalf of her, but she's fine with it, so I don't care either. I think we try to say that again. What's happening? Oh, there you are. Hi.
Hello.
Hello, Trav. You're live. Smile for the camera. There's no camera.
See, if Mark had a Sona, then you could say that you should personas. That would be different.
Different good or different bad?
No, that would be different good because it's like cartoons. I don't know. It's a very it's a very fictional term to use, I suppose.
I mean, as long as it's just Starsonas, then I guess that's fine.
You've reached the highest point in Clifftown.
I'm sorry, I'm
You
the
can get
odd
to
one out
almost
here.
anywhere from here.
This is a little
If
awkward
I were you,
for everyone
I'd use that
involved.
whirlwind over there.
That you don't have that you're not a furry.
Look, it's Marco, one of my favorite Dagrons.
Mark's a furry.
No, stop. I'm sitting next to a furry. Are you scaly, Travis?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, I wanted to make sure because I didn't want to just say it out there and come across as rude. Well, I was gonna say, well, because I was gonna say, it's like we're all sitting on a couch together. I'm sitting between a furry and a scaly, but I'm not either. I don't identify as either.
To tell you the truth, I've dealt with some people who would assume the worst of me just because I'm either a scaly or a furry.
Yeah, I get it.
No, yeah, because I don't assume things with people. I just didn't want to assume like if you like the term, like if you even identify with the term. So
I'm actually
I
both.
needed to check first. Okay.
I'm actually both a scaly and a furry.
Yeah, same.
Okay, so is Miharu. I just like I like the types of characters when people draw stuff like that, but I don't consider myself either.
Yeah, that's kind of that's kind of one of the reasons why I mostly draw anthropomorphic characters than human.
Yep. Me too.
I still draw both. I haven't been drawing a lot these days though. But when I see others on Twitter draw with the good characters, I'll be like, yeah, that's worth a retweet.
Although if they're humans, they're human girls specifically. I'm better at drawing women.
You've drawn good boys. You drew a little buff version of me once. And it
Yeah,
was awesome.
but I mean, I suppose if I'm drawing him like
It was really funny.
stylistically.
Yeah, I like
Okay, here's a who's ready for a controversial thing from Travis?
Oh, let's hear it.
Okay, I think anthro characters are more interesting than humans. There, I said
Well,
it.
that's not a controversial.
Not even
Miharu
controversial.
fully
at all.
agrees.
I think like non-human characters are just more interesting. They're more exotic. It's less familiar. What do you get? The Owl House? Try? What are you talking about? I finished the Owl House. I love that show.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people praising the loud house. Not the loud. The owl.
Loud
I don't
house.
know why I thought about it.
The loud owl house.
The loud Owl House. It's very loud.
I just think of a bunch of owls in the coop just screaming at each other.
Just going,
Sergio, if this is your first stream, welcome. I would highly recommend either staying around for more in the future or definitely going back and watching others because you'll definitely start to see our interests and stuff. And then you'll know, you will know.
Okay.
good stuff. Solid. Yeah, you can join the chat if you want.
But yeah, no, so Travis, praising the Owl House.
Oh yeah.
Was there any more you had to add?
Well, actually, I do have at least one friend who actually really loves the Owl House, but I have not seen it, and that's mostly because I've never made the time to watch it.
Oh shit, Lightning, I'm sorry. I had no idea. You changed everything. You assumed a new identity. How was I to know? I'm not sure if you've come into the stream and told us that you were Lightning. I apologize.
Oh yeah, no, I think I knew that because I remember. Well, I remember the name Sergio.
I don't. I'm sorry. You went through an identity transformation. Okay, well if you're familiar and then you ship us as a couple, that's fine. I'm suddenly more cool than now.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Spyro, some big Norks up ahead are
The
wearing
owls are so
armor.
loud.
And in the ice cave, armor can
They're
make
just
their feet
screeching
very
loudly.
slippery.
Yeah.
I guess that's why we're calling it the loud Owl House. Oh god, I'm so awkward.
The Lowell House.
The lol house.
The Lol
I can
House.
never word things right.
Wait, what?
I can never word things right.
Welcome to the club.
Welcome to
Cyberman with $2. You got $2 from Cyberman saying
Hey.
happy birthday, happy B-Day, Miharu. Go nuts, have a great one, Yahoo.
Oh, I'm going nuts. Miharu's
going
going nuts!
Miharu's going fucking psychotic. She's screeching, she's jumping on the couches. She's trying to lick my face.
Screeching fox noises.
Screeching fox noises.
I'm jumping on the couch. On and off the couch.
She's running around the house. Tearing
Throwing
boxes
dragon
open.
noises.
Tearing my Christmas presents open.
With your teeth.
Foxes are so crazy when it comes to ripping presents open.
I remember that video you showed me.
I gotta watch some videos like that sometime. I bet that would be really funny.
Yeah.
Fox videos are good.
Domesticated foxes. They're very cute.
I actually have a friend who really loves foxes. That's why they actually have their own foxes.
Nice.
Ooh, Musa with the 199. What's up, Miharu, Destination Mark, and Travis? How are you?
Yeah. Oh, we're all good.
Hello.
We're all good.
The
I'm
boxes.
just alive and breathing.
Alive and breathing. Well, I woke up today,
So did I, and I chose violence.
and I chose violence. No, Travis, no!
Is that a John Mulaney bit? Because it sounds like it. Also, the way you deliver that right now, Travis, sounded almost exactly like John. It's scarily like John Mulaney.
Really?
I don't know if he's
I don't know,
actually
something-
said that before.
Something about the cadence in your voice when you said it, you sounded a lot like John Mulaney just now. It was awesome.
I didn't know I actually sounded like that.
I guess it's just the way you said that in particular.
Yeah, it was really good. I liked it.
I must have a really gifted voice then.
Yeah, you are really good at voice acting.
Thanks for
Thanks,
freeing
Identity.
me, Spyro.
I've done 5,000
Now,
impressions in front of you,
where
both in
was
person and over the interwebs, and I don't think once you've said that to me, Aaron. In the 5 years I've known you.
I've laughed at your impressions so much I don't even need to say anything.
Okay. It would be very, it'd be very, what's the word for it? I don't know, good for lack of a better word to hear it.
Okay, you're very good
Not
at
even-
doing
not right now,
certain
not right now.
impressions.
Okay. I was gonna say not right now, I'll say you gotta surprise me with it, yes,
Okay.
naturally.
Also,
Not because I'm asking for it, because I'm being a little bitch.
usually I'm laughing so hard in the moment that I forget to say good things. Yes. What was I? Okay, hold on. I need to look at the.
Hi, welcome to Chili's.
Hi, welcome to Chili's. Hi, my name is Chelsea. What's your favorite dinner food?
I thought you were gonna say my name is Boxy. Who remembers her?
My favorite dinner food is... Like, what is my favorite dinner food?
Oh shit, I seem to have forgotten my own me.
Oh god,
Me.
what have I done?
I seem to have forgotten the rolls. The dinner rolls.
I seem to have forgotten my own life.
I'm sorry, I seem to have forgotten my life today. God. Man. The horse. Man.
The horse. I was wondering why Kazuya was trending on Twitter. I thought I was Tekken 8. No, Smash people want him to be banned from tournaments.
Oh.
Okay. Whatever.
Who's
Cool.
my
Done
most
well,
hated
Spyro.
outhouse character?
Some dragons thought you weren't ready, but
I don't know
knew
if I
they
actually
were
hate
wrong.
All of
anyone.
them.
That, all of them. Everyone sucks.
For what?
What do you find in special apparition? Honestly, I think they taste fine. That's my go-to condiment.
Ketchup is good, and Aaron doesn't like it when I if I have some on my plate and I put my finger into it and eat it off my finger.
That's disgusting.
Mark, how dare.
It's good.
It's really not.
No, like,
Ketchup-
don't 2v1 me.
Ketchup
no.
by itself is just not good.
Well, I'm not saying like do a Pikachu and
Okay.
fucking guzzle it down from the bottle. I'm just saying like you dip your finger on it and then you just kind of
But
lick it
then
off
you
your
have,
finger.
but then you have ketchup fingers.
Fucking wash your hands after.
No.
I prefer to just dip my other food into the ketchup.
Yeah, just, it's for dipping. It is very much a dipping sauce.
Yeah.
Where's the dipping sauce? Oh.
Well, it could also go on things too. It can go on a burger. It can go on a hot dog.
Hot dog.
Which is what I eat.
Yep.
Dip your fries in it.
Yep. It fries in it. Hold up.
The cashier lady was telling us today because we went grocery shopping before Aaron started the stream, and we got some peanut butter, a big fat jar of peanut butter, and some bread, amongst other things. Of course, we were grocery shopping for more than just that. But she was like, "You should put." They're like, "You don't put jelly, like peanut butter jelly sandwiches?" We're like, "No, just peanut butter." And they were like, "Oh, you should mix it up. You should put like honey in there." And I was just like, haha, no, that's fine. But in my mind, I was like, "Ooh, that hurt."
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
Then she said, maybe try some syrup even. And I was like,
Ooh, no. That I don't think that's no. Those are not good flavor combinations. I do not think. Hold on. Skellord 98. Yes, of course I still like Bubba. Of course. All my favorite
who doesn't
dragons
like
are
Bubba?
still my favorite dragons.
I'll tell you what to do to those creatures. Smash them, Spyro. Spit them out, squish them, squash them.
what if he said,
I do say weird, like, I do say he has a weird face, though. He has a weird nose. Sometimes I say that.
How dare you?
what if in the remake he said, I'll tell you what to do with those have a friendly conversation.
Have a conversation. Sit them down and say what you're doing is not okay.
Ask them what troubles them, Spyro. So I was like,
And
what?
then smash them.
And then punch them in the face.
Sit on the ledge with your legs dangling off and ask them what the problem is. Then push them off.
Then push them off.
That'll learn them.
That'll learn you. That'll learn you. Puppy, please be nice to me.
Chocolate! That's the best man. Who's your favorite man from SpongeBob?
They're selling chocolate? Yeah!
Yeah,
They're selling chocolate. I remember the first time they invented chocolate. Sweet, sweet chocolate. I always hated it.
Give us more impressions to do. Yeah, I love the way you go, yeah! All the good SpongeBob.
I absolutely love that SpongeBob episode. It is such a classic.
Yeah, that's a good one.
If anyone wants to know what my favorite side character from SpongeBob, it would probably be a tie between the chocolate guy and Fred. Like, you know, remember the Mile guy?
Yeah.
I see. When SpongeBob started to get weird is when they started to run out of ideas for episodes, and so they just started focusing on all the side characters, and then they started doing that thing. Even for instance, I don't know if they're still doing it, but they were for a while there, where they completely ran out of material, and they weren't, and no one was liking what the new shit they were doing with their plot lines and episode things and stuff. So they were like, let's just recycle. Let's, like, you know, either give the side characters some attention, and maybe we'll even go a few episodes where SpongeBob's kind of barely in them, or we'll just, hey, hi, remember this character, or how about this thing? And one of those things they did was they dedicated a whole episode to essentially exploiting the running joke of the My Light guy, and I was like, why? That was supposed to be just a background running gag. Why are you gonna center a whole episode around it?
Yeah, it was really
And
weird.
defeats the purpose it was.
As weird as it was, I don't think it was that bad. Not that I've actually caught up with SpongeBob that much.
There was one episode I remember seeing a clip of where Plankton's like going to like a bad guy convention, or he's trying to like get a team of bad guys, and so they just bring like, so on the other end of the spectrum, how I was saying, oh, let's just do some throwbacks for no reason other than fan service. They have this scene in an episode where he's like trying to get all these bad guys together, or he's again in a convention, something like that. I forget the context. But he walks into this room, and there are just like all these fucking characters from different episodes, or even the fucking first movie. Dennis comes back for no reason.
How fast
And
you
it's like,
hop aboard
there's
for the
like,
Magic
I
Crafters
think the
World if you're
hashtag is
ready.
slashers there. They've got like,
Yeah.
what's his name? The Strangler or whoever he was, that guy. They've got Dennis, like all these like.
I think they
villainous-
also got Prawn. I think they also got Prawn from
Yeah,
Battle for Bikini
Prawn.
Bottom in there as well.
It was
Wow.
really weird. I'm like, what? Oh, okay. It doesn't make sense, but okay. This is weird.
I
don't
do
know what
love
to think
some
about
good
it.
fan service, don't get me wrong, but I think at least some context would be nice.
Yeah, when they substitute the storytelling for fan service is when I don't like it, because it just seems like, what are ideas? Here's a literal, we're gonna just fuck your eyes with fan service. Like I don't know how
We
else
may
to I
fuck
can't
your
sugarcoat
eyes.
it. I can't sugarcoat it. I don't know how else to say it. We're just gonna bombard you with all this fan service for no reason, and it's like, oh, okay, what? Also, what?
Yeah, it's crazy.
They got a quote from Musa. And if you don't like it, you can pick your whiny, sniveling,
The
snot-nosed
snot-nosed
population.
population.
Fall
Fall line behind me in case
might-
we're still on. Well,
still
turn
on.
it off, you idiot!
Turn it off,
That always made me laugh. That was one of my favorites when I first played that game.
I actually played Ratchet and Clank the first time, the original version. I think it was probably like 1 or 2 years ago, and yeah, I did hear that quote. And damn it, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
See, when people, especially like how Miharu makes her comparisons for what they did right and wrong with how they handled the original elements of the first game for the reboot or for the movie. Yeah, one of the ones I can agree with for a definite fact are, like, well, I have no single doubt about it, is Drek. I do like Kevin's take more, the original take.
Oh, yeah. of
And
course.
even look.
Yeah, well, no, the look is way better for all of Blarg, because, like, I don't like them having, I think their eyes are weird. I think their eyes in, like, the reboot are super weird. Like, I like them being, like, kind of, like, soulless and creepy.
Yeah, sometimes you just tend to question design changes.
Yeah. It's mostly the eyes that got me, when I first saw the redesigns. I was like, what the hell? Like,
Yeah, kind of the same reason why I tend to question Cinder's design in Dawn of the Dragon.
you know what? I never thought it looked that bad. I actually
When
really
you
like
see
it.
arrows like these, you
I like
can
it
charge
too,
along with them to begin a supercharge.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's bad
Supercharge.
per se.
Excellent.
Go ahead.
I just
Try
tend to
it.
think, okay, but what's the point of that choice? Like,
Well,
to be
so
fair,
wait.
it would probably be because of the lighting in said game, which could be understandable if that's actually the case, so I'm not complaining too much.
What specific elements about her design bug you? Is it like the redesign for the fact that they're supposed to be older, or is it for colorization, or like can
Well,
you pin it down to
actually-
any one thing?
I think part of it's the color.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to.
Oh, okay. I want to know what was going through their heads when they redesigned her for Academy, because it's just a really weird shape for her. She looks way lankier.
Yeah.
And her head shape looks like a football. It's really bizarre. It's her. It's
I
just
will admit
a wider
that,
head.
I will admit that her design is strange, but honestly, I've grown used to it. It kind of grew on me after a while.
And the games look a little weird, but I don't know. I don't think. I don't know. It just looks weird all around for me. She looks a little more accurate, like proportions-wise in the game, sort of. But I don't know. Her look in the show is a little weird. I mean, same thing for Spyro. Spyro's head's a little on that wider side too. But I think that look for him in Academy is probably the best of his Skylanders looks, because the other ones are still to me just really ugly. I'm sorry.
I mean,
Never gonna change. That is.
Personally just
Yeah,
don't
I will say
like
that's
it anyway.
much. I will say that's much. I will say this much.
Yeah.
Spyro does look better in Academy than he does in the Skylanders games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I first, not even slightly, it's a great improvement, I feel.
I mean, for me, it's slightly just because I don't like the general shape. But...
I guess the reason is because they made him more expressive in Skylanders Academy.
Yeah. Well, he looks a lot cleaner too. He's more refined. Like his details are more noticeable and stuff. And I mean, it's because even in the cutscenes for the games where they can have because it's all pre-rendered, because they can have everything's not in engine or in even real time, so they're able to refine all the character looks and animations. It's only barely slightly better than in the actual in-engine stuff, but like the in-game look is fucking ugly, and the cutscenes are passable, like the trailers too, like by extension. It's just the design they went with. I don't like it. I don't think it represents Spyro. But at least in Academy, being a completely different studio and different team separate from the game, doing their own takes on those characters and stuff, because everyone to a degree looks a little bit different than they do from the games, but not by much. I don't know. It's a lot more passable. Spyro's look anyway. Because certain other characters I either just didn't really care for, or thought like, oh, they look okay in the games. Look, Stealth Elf always looked cool, whether it's the games or I really like her look in Academy. She's super cute.
Yeah. But then again, we're like people talk about Skylanders, Spyro, his design. I never liked his design in Legend. Well, at least he looks better in Dawn of the Dragon. I think Dawn of the Dragon looks like fine, I guess, but I think his younger design with the weird squiggle mouth, I just don't like it. Something just it's off to me, and it's really off to me. He has bulging bug eyes and a weird squiggle mouth.
Oh, Spyro!
I don't have a problem
You're
with
not
his
afraid of
young
his big noise, he's gigantic.
his young Legend look in the first two games. I like it.
If there's any character in Skylanders that has the best character design, it's definitely by far Stealth Elf.
Yeah, she was great.
And it's definitely not because I'm biased.
Okay, wait, it's which kind? Let me see. Wait, is it a variant of Stealth Elf, or is it just her herself?
I think it's just her.
Yeah, it's Stealth Elf herself.
Just okay. Yeah. No, I mean, she's a ninja. She's awesome. I like ninja characters, so of course I gravitated towards her. I think she's really, really cute.
Yeah, she's cool. What was okay? Let me read some stuff.
Ooh, I like this outfit too. I'm looking up images. This one looks cool. She looks like a traditional ninja right here, actually. Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know she had that outfit.
Yeah, Fire Spitter. No, I could see why. I mean, Legend had good ideas. I never really liked it. Just wasn't my thing. But no, it was a massive part of a lot of people's childhoods. It was definitely an era. That specific era of Spyro and Crash was super weird, but man, it was definitely a time. It was a time.
They were experimenting, and that was something I had always been arguing for and not against, because I don't know about how y'all's feel. Well, Travis mainly, because I know how you feel, Aaron. But in terms of me, when you guys listen to me in chat, you're dealing with someone who really, really is into Titans Mind of Mutant era Crash, and I do really like Legend era Spyro. I haven't beaten all the games yet. I'm up to Dawn of the Dragon, but I've always digged the look for both of them because they're experimenting, and for once, these devs try to do something a little bit different because for the longest time, Universal, for both franchises, didn't want them to change. That is, them being that kind of stingy about how Crash and Spyro should be handled, is that decision and that mindset is directly what was responsible for Wrath of Cortex and the Dragonfly.
Yeah.
They didn't, you know, those projects were both of them were supposed to be much more ambitious, but Universal gave, you know, the respective devs this very strict deadline, told them this is what you can do, this is what you can do, you can't do this, no, change that, this is that, do this, it has to be at the originals, it has to be safe, it has to stay, you know, the way everyone knows it.
Right.
But with these guys having to replicate someone else's work and all that stuff and all the problems that went with the Dragonfly and everything that happened with Wrath of Cortex, they came out the way they came out. But fast forward these years later, we've got these weird, as everyone says, eras for Crash and Spyro. But that's the direct result of the devs finally being like, you know what, fuck it, let's just experiment a little bit. And I'm for it. I didn't actually mind any of those. You know, I don't mind either era. I like Legend and Minor Mutant and Titans.
No, it's definitely, it's still, I think it's still a nostalgic era for both of them. I still have that feeling toward them.
Yeah.
But, like, even though the thing is, I just didn't like the way the Legend played. It just wasn't, like, it wasn't what I thought Spyro should be, but it was exactly what it should have been at the time.
I will be honest and say that I think A New Beginning is probably my favorite out of the three. Though admittedly, I don't exactly know why. It might just be me being biased, so it's probably that.
Oh wait, which one?
A New Beginning.
Oh, well, yeah, no, I like it a lot too. I like it for the fact, I know people say it's repetitive in its gameplay and so, like the story beats and where you're going and what you're doing.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I know it is repetitive, but
I don't mind it either.
Now, I know that the combat can drag on a bit, but I think it's a matter of upgrading your abilities enough to like actually get rid of your enemies a lot more faster, which probably makes me enjoy the game more.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the stronger you get, then the better the game gets, probably.
I really liked the upgrade system. I thought that was, not only was it a first for Spyro, but I thought it was really cool because it allows you to do more damage, and the fact that it's kind of treated, you know, I mean, I know it's something that Aaron doesn't like personally, but how they treated the breaths as a type of mana or whatever, like, I think the idea was cool. Maybe they could have executed it a different way so they didn't have to delegate fucking one of his iconic moves to a meter, but like, I still think that the concept is interesting at the very least, and I would like to see a Spyro game in the more classic style, not tackle it the exact same way, but do something to where you could still have this little upgrade system, like a little mini version of an upgrade system or something. Because even not so much with upgrading, but with, you know, Hero's Tale having an element to the game where you can unlock this thing until you go get a thing from like money bags or go buy a thing, or it was very like almost RPG like, but it was really cool. It was something that kind of livened it up at least a little bit. I mean, maybe some people find it like annoying because you just simply didn't have to do that in the previous games or whatever, but like there has to be a way to marry the two concepts, the very simplistic gameplay of these games and those more intricate like elements. There has to be a way.
Yeah, if they start having a concept like this in a future title, then I think they should start taking advantage of it and maybe experiment a little more.
Yeah. No, but like I totally understand. It was a big part of a lot of childhoods, and I still have my nostalgic attachment to the Legend era.
Yeah, even I myself am actually nostalgic for the Legend series.
Yeah.
It's not as nostalgic, like because my nostalgic attachment comes from like
Jumpy, hello.
Not necessarily the games themselves, but rather the time period in which they were released. Like,
yeah.
it's a different type of nostalgia, I suppose.
No, I understand fully what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Just too, because it's like your likes of what games you were playing around that time, what you were into around that time, and the fact that the franchises, for both Crash and Spyro, being so close to us as they are and were, how they were changing. Like, yeah, because even that was why Radical changed the designs up so much. They were like, okay, for this new little era here, with everything getting a little more kind of this edge, I wouldn't even say mature, but just this edge to it. They wanted to bring a bit of edge to the Crash characters, so they try to find this very unified, almost punk-like aesthetic, which is why, you know, Crash has his tattoos, he has a studded belt, stuff like that, and you know, Cortex's hair is spikier, it's not all clown-like. Things like that were cool. I didn't really mind those changes.
What about Crash of the Titans? My Number Mutant is next to Tag Team. It is my favorite Crash game. I think it's fantastic. It's like, yeah, it has its moments where I'm like, fuck this, but like, I think it's mostly because, see, I really like that era of Crash. That resonated with me more than Legend did. Oh my god, because that's what I thought Crash should be, because the humor. It was like, you know, it was just, it made it just so much fun. Like, I was just like, oh my god, this is exactly what I want Crash to be, with like really stupid humor. And it's, you know, like zany and cartoony. That's what I thought.
Hi, what's that? The fuck?
Yeah, it's like like dumb memes and stuff, but like, see, that's exactly what I thought Crash should be. Legend is not what I thought Spyro should be. That's just the difference.
I do get where you're coming from.
It was very surprising. To a degree, it still kind of is, even though I do understand why you don't care for that type of specific look or like feel for Spyro. But a part of me, for some reason, just really thought that you would. Just, I don't know, like I did, and I was into punk stuff as a kid, so like the aesthetic was full on with me, and even the stuff I was drawing around that time too. I used to draw a lot of like of those kinds of designs you'd see on shirts and stuff, like the crosses and the like designs and the spirals and stuff.
Yeah.
Just that type of like almost royal-like, but very gothic almost, and sort of emo punk type of designs. I would draw those a lot as a kid.
See,
around that time.
And I know what you mean by like, you think I would have been into it. Maybe I would have if it wasn't under the Spyro label.
I suppose. I guess because Spyro was that ingrained into your head of what it should have been,
yes,
or what the tone was previously, that this was a little too far removed for you, I guess?
Yes. It's like it is literally because they put the Spyro label on it that I do not like it as much as I probably should.
That's very interesting. You watch Spyro speedruns, dude. We know Deo.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
So yeah,
Deo's a friend of mine, yeah.
Yeah, Spyro speedruns are fun to watch.
Supercharged with.
I can imagine.
Yeah, speedruns of a lot of games are fun to watch. Since I've been getting into Doom recently, I saw a Doom Eternal fucking speedrun, and my lord, it's nuts. I was like, what the fuck? What? How do you people find these techniques and shit?
I actually don't know why I don't watch a lot of speedruns. I actually don't know why.
It just depends. If you really like a game, you're just like, huh, I wonder what little techniques that I can do. Because if you play the game enough. But the thing about like Spyro speedruns, I can watch them and be like, man, this is super cool, but I like can't pull up anything that they're doing.
Yeah.
I have tried, and it's really hard.
Me that they casual gamer, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if there are little tricks you can glean from it that are doable, then yeah, it is cool how you can pick up some little tiny techniques. It just makes doing shit a little, not even so much as faster, like for you, like for any one person who's not a speedrunner, but just more efficiently.
Yeah.
And even the more you play
One technique I've actually done the most was the swimming in the air glitch in Spyro 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I could do that in I could do that in Spyro 3 mostly. I usually I do it in Dynamite Lines without even thinking. But no, when it comes to like little speedrun tips, if it's something that I'm like I could pull that off, I could do that, then
Yeah.
I try it out. Like I've been doing that with the RE4 remake, and it's really fun because I learned some speedrunning tips, and I'm like, cool, that's super easy to do.
I think what's cool too is even if you don't pick up on specific speed running tactics or techniques, the more you play a game that you know front to back, like the faster you find you can play the game. So I've heard comments from people, you know, telling me like, are you not a speedrunner? Like when they see me play Crack or something, especially the very first game, and I'll play it with like very few deaths, and I'll play it in a very like risky type of way, but it's because I know the physics that well, and I know the motion and the movement that well, but not in a speedrunner sense, in a typical casual gamer sense, but it's because I've played the game so long that I can kind of like manipulate a few things to my liking, so I can just play the game fast, but I'm not speedrunning it, because to me there is a difference between playing the game fast because you know it, and then speedrunning it because you're finding ways to, you know, you're timing yourself and you're breaking, you know, certain little rules
like,
of the game here
you're
and there,
breaking
and
the
you're glitching
system.
things out.
Yeah.
I can't do stuff that efficiently for speedrunning, but playing the game fast, I can do that.
I mean, well, it's kind
I'll
of
be
like
honest
me
and
with
say that
like
I'm not
this
really-
game. I could do it. I'm not a speedrunner, but I can do it.
Yeah, I'm not actually good at speedrunning, which is why I just prefer to be, you know, just play the game casually.
Yeah.
I'm a slow runner.
Slow runner. You're a cloud runner.
Yeah, don't mind me, I'm just slow running the game.
How fast can you do the cloud runner thing, Aaron?
What cloud runner thing?
Isn't that what it is? The little thing under the like bridge or whatever
You
in
mean
Adventures?
You mean getting into Cloud Runner Fortress and the stupid time limit thing? That is the most bullshit thing. Like everybody I know who has played that game hates that. It is the worst.
Oh god. Every time I watch you play and you get to that part, you're like, nah, fuck. Here we go.
It sucks because literally you are not allowed to mess up. You mess up once, you're done.
It is true.
Because the time limit is it's so tight, like it's so precise.
Well, yeah, Jace, I mean, you have to be really fucking patient to be a speedrunner. You have to be able to mess up. You have to allow yourself to mess up so you can learn how to do, like, inputs correctly or do this or that. The interesting part of speedruns for me is seeing the different types of glitches and the different types of techniques you can pull off to just fly around or fucking just fleeing characters, like, real fast, or little techniques, like movement techniques to get you to kind of just up your like running or walking speed or whatever. Like, it's just things like that. It's interesting. It's interesting, but it's for a very specific. There's a specific fan base for it, I guess, like a community for it. So like, you don't have to like speedruns or whatever or get the appeal, but like to understand it. But that's definitely what the difference is. Like, yeah, I understand it. There's those of us who like it and those who don't really care for it. Like, I like seeing them. I'm never gonna enter that space myself, but I like seeing them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, also Nationverse, I mean, too, speedrunners do play the game for enjoyment as well, and then they end up learning things later. You have to kind of know what's happening in the game before you just start jumping right in and trying to break it.
Yeah.
Oh, you skipped a minion.
Yeah, I did.
Can you salvage it?
No, I can't. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna make. No.
Aw.
You got this.
I should just go in the water like no. Well, it depends, Jace. Find a game that you really, really like that you could just pick up and play. Like, I would, if I had to pick any game to speedrun, it would probably be the original Crash 1. Because I can play it over and over and still enjoy it. It has to be something that you do not mind not putting down for very long before picking it right back up again. What's up, Frankie?
Hello.
I'm tired, I'm full. I was really hungry at the beginning of the day. I had to clean out some of our cat carriers that we have outside for our outdoor cats, and so I hadn't eaten for a long while there after waking up. So we went grocery shopping and we came back home and I immediately started eating everything.
Alright, there we go.
Oh yeah, the idiot who didn't like Crash 4 because it wasn't made by Naughty Dog. Okay.
That's the only reason.
That's a very stupid reason, I might add.
I really don't care for people that do. People that do that are just finding petty. Those are the types of people that we're trying to be like, hey, you know, they don't represent the Crash fandom.
And that's the
or
thing.
the community.
People will find any reason to hate certain games, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same thing with people who go like, oh, I didn't like the only reason Nitro Field is bad is because of the microtransactions, which, like, aren't even... It's like, they're not even, like...
They don't affect the game at all. Sometimes I forget they're there. You have to tab over on the pit stop, and I often forget that's a thing you have to do to even see them. That's the only way the game acknowledges them.
It's like they're not even there. The fact that, like, you know, like, you are so bothered by a thing that you have to tab over to even see. Just, like, if you're annoyed that much with its very presence, like, dude, calm down.
I mean, I still find it funny. It seems Naughty Dog can make another Crash game in 2023. Naughty Dog is just doing their own thing. I've already accepted it a long time ago. They're never gonna really go back to, whether it's Jack and Daxter or any type of cartoony roots, they're just never gonna go back to it. And it's because they're a different company now. Like, what do you expect from someone like that, from a company like that? It was cool that they did recreate boulders from the ground up to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Crash. That's what put Naughty Dog on the map, you know. Of course, they had it's not even the same team. It's not Jason, Andy, Bob Raffi, any of those guys, or even Mark Cerny. But, you know, the team there, Neil Druckmann and Bruce Straley and all of them, they still, you know, did a neat little cute short homage, and that was perfect. That's all you needed. So whatever they do now, I mean, what I'm saying about Naughty Dog is that they should branch out more and they can do their photorealistic, you know, very gritty games or whatever. I'm just saying, like, get more variety in what you're doing because they're really just on the Last of Us train right now. It has not, you know, it is still going, and in the sense that there's likely going to be a part 3. They're likely going to, you know, make, you know, re-release all 3 games, part 1, part 2, and have the definitive PS5 trilogy. It's gonna happen. I'm calling it now. I called it before, but you know.
Yeah.
I really want to see. Apparently, whatever game is in development, people are saying it's rumored to be like a sci-fi game, and it is a brand new, like, IP. I'm hoping it is because I want to see more variety from them. Even though, like, Insomniac, you know, doesn't have a whole lot of variety, they still have variety because they have Ratchet. They've got the Marvel games. If they ever wanted to, they could go back to Resistance if they felt like it. So you already got some superhero games, cartoony platformer shooters, and a first-person shooter. That's already enough variety right there. Plus the other games they did too, like Song of the Deep and stuff like that. Like, that's already plenty of variety from Insomniac, all within the last, like, 10 years. But the last 10 years we got from Naughty Dog, what? Last of Us 2, Last of Us Part 1, Uncharted 4, Lost Legacy. It's just Uncharted and Last of Us, and they're already wrapping up Uncharted, and they're pretty much already all done with it. So
yeah, if they say they never want to make Uncharted again, I'm just like, all right, well, I'm out.
Welcome.
well, but even if they did, like, what more can they do? You can't do a What, are they gonna do an Uncharted 5 and make it about like their kid or whatever? Or are they gonna do like fucking, or are they gonna do like, you know, passing on the legacy or whatever? Or are they gonna do like another spin-off, like a Sully spin-off? Like, but at that point, would you not feel, would you personally not feel like they're kind of just trying to milk it and stay safe at the same time?
Well, like, I would feel... Oh, it didn't even work. Like, I mean, maybe, but the thing is, like, I'm just saying as somebody who, like, who only has interest in Uncharted as a Naughty Dog. Like, Uncharted is the last Naughty Dog thing I have interest in. So, like, it's the last thing that they made that I actually had, like, any interest in. So, like, if they drop it, like, then I'm not going to be interested in a Naughty Dog thing for, like, a while unless they make a new thing that's cool. Like, that's all I'm saying. Because I don't care about The Last of Us.
I mean, I wouldn't even say it was a novelty. It was just the very concept of what they were doing with the zombie apocalypse, you know, trope was pretty cool. I wouldn't even call it groundbreaking, but it was different. So that was really cool. That it wasn't even so much about the zombies and surviving the zombies. It was more about the adventure and just see. It was more of a character study game. The first one. It was like, what lengths would you go to protect whoever you need to, or do whatever, and let yourself open yourself up to like kind of love again or caring for someone else again like that. And after we lost Sarah and everything, and, that was cool. It wasn't a novelty. It wasn't like this, you know. But it was very hard to top, and I guess for a lot of people with the way Part 2 was handled, I guess they couldn't really top it. Even though people do say that, you know, it was really good and it did moderately well, like, just the controversy around it and whatever else and all that nonsense, and I guess just the choices they made with the story, which again, I don't know much of. I got myself spoiled by the story, but I don't know the context for some of the stuff, so like, I don't know. It's just, it was a very weird decision for a sequel, I suppose, to time skip it and then focus it more on Ellie and her deal and whatever.
Yeah.
So who knows what a fucking Part 3 would even be. Also, real quick, Jumpy, there are many facets of Crash 4 that are kind of difficult. I would say don't go for everything. If you want a better experience and want to actually kind of like the game to some sort of degree, don't feel the need to go for everything. Just do a casual playthrough from beginning to end if you can. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Just stick to playing the game casually.
Even if you've been a Crash fan for like the longest time ever, but if that's just not your type of, if that's not you as a gamer, don't go for it.
Yeah,
Straight
just
up.
don't go through all that trouble just to complete the game 106%. It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
Well, especially for someone like Jumpy who thinks it's too punishing. Like then don't put yourself through that. I still see, like, I still want to beat the game 106% because I haven't done it even once yet, but I am really close. I just have the time trials left to go, but I already don't like time trials in any Crash game to begin with, so like it's just gonna be really fucking hard for me.
Like, don't even go for 100%. Just like do one thing. Like, maybe do one kind of difficult level and finish that, and like if that makes you proud enough, be like, all right, that's it. That's all I wanted to do. Just stop
I
there.
still have yet to beat Crash 4. Like, I'm at the Cortex Castle area, and I'm like near the final boss, and that level, fucking hard.
Yeah, I know. I don't like Cortex Castle, and me getting the perfect relic on it, I was like, fuck, that's my greatest accomplishment in this game. I'm gonna stop there.
And that's why I say, you know what? After I beat the game, I'm done. I'm not going back to this.
Yeah.
I think it's just my own hubris and just me being that big of a Crash fan where I'm like, I have to. Like, I have to, every so often I'll come back to it and try to like get a relic or two. So I'm trying to knock it out little bit by little bit. It's just, I think it is because of how much it asks from you. It's like, they shouldn't have asked the world from you. No other Crash game's done that before, necessarily anyway. And with how much they stuffed it, you know. But the part that I found to be really silly and really baffling, as much as, you know, he's entertaining and stuff, and I love him for his content and everything, but like watching like someone like Kedikris, I'm not calling him out, I'm just saying, like, for example, because other people do this too, Crash fans in general usually feel, if they're not already casual, they feel like, okay, well, I know Crash. I grew up with such and such game from such and such year when I was a kid or a teenager, so I know Crash. This will be, no problem. And then they'll feel the need to not move on per level until they've done everything in their current level. And when you're watching a stream series like that, like how Caddy did it, sometimes it just became unbearable when, like, it's him trying to think like, dude, no, but I know Crash. I can do it. I know Crash. So he fucking will not move on until he gets it done. And I know, too, when you're that big of a content creator, so you don't literally have it in your schedule at the time to just move on. And if you're playing 100 whatever or do whatever on stream, you can't just move on and leave stuff to come back to it on stream later because you do not have that time. I understand that. But, like, then don't 100% it on stream. Like, just do it on your own time when you have your own time.
I mean, like, that's what I do here. Like, well, because I know this game so well, and I'm just so confident that I can do everything. Like, I can 100% everything like one go around.
Well, then, yeah.
I could do that. But like when I'm playing 2 and 3, I'm like, no, like, I'm gonna come back to that because I don't want to do this right now. It's just like that's the way it works. But anyway, Brickproc24, thank you so much for the membership.
Hey.
Even though I consider myself a casual gamer, I do like to play Spyro games to 100% them because like I know that I don't actually have to, but I want to.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. I get that.
Because honestly, it feels more rewarding to me that way.
Sure. See, the process of going through it, not just even the reward like I did for my video, but even the process for some of the games, for these 3 games, it goes in that order still. I will always, whenever I play Spyro 1, whether it's the original or Reignited, I cannot not go for everything because it is that simple and straightforward to go to. Even though it's simplistic, it's still fun. I still find enjoyment in doing it. It's satisfying to collect everything. In Spyro 2, I can still do it, but because of how much more they added with the challenges and minigames and all of that garbage, like, and the fact that there's a little bit more to the speedways this time around, I'll go for it, but I'm not gonna have the best time always, and that's just on a level by level basis. By Spyro 3, I'm like, oh god, like I'm dreading certain fucking levels or speedways or challenges, and I can still do it, but it gets a little, not even overwhelming, just because I already know what to expect for each version of the game, whether it's OG 3 and yeah, Bentley Boxing still sucks, or like here in Reignited, you have no iframes when you're doing this Demolition Derby. So it's little things like that I just dread, and I'm just like, here we go. Okay. And I don't really find much enjoyment in it. And with Crash 4 too, going back to that, because there's so much to do, that would already have been enough. It was a little too much to ask for, I think, from Toys for Bob to be like, now get everything to the highest, make sure all those values are up. Whatever out of whatever, 200 something out of 200 something, 32 out of 32, like. And I know other Crash games did do that, but in some aspects, the other Crash games were more lenient. It had more simplistic level design. Levels were way easier to go through. So when they hid boxes out of frame, or they wanted you to go for the gold relic, it wasn't too much to ask for. Some of them were still kind of like, but like, it's not nearly as like daunting of a task, and it's not that much to ask from you for the older games than it was from Crash 4. And I'm really hoping that if we get a 5 and whatever that's going to be from Toys for Bob, that they definitely take that into consideration to not ask the world of you, and have everything be that ramped up. Like the difficulty curve kind of kicks up. Level design gets a lot more intricate. They put a lot more enemies in front of you. The boxes are very well hidden. The hidden gems can sometimes be a bitch. Just things like that. Like every facet of the game. Flashback tapes, you have to get them further and further into the levels without dying. The flashback tapes themselves get harder and harder as you go. Like, it's a fucking lot. It really tests your mettle as a Crash fan.
Yeah.
Even the craziest of vets.
Yeah,
will
and like
still trip up.
that's kind of like this is okay. So this is something that I haven't really touched on in like a video or anything, but this is like something that I'm hoping for Spyro 4 is that I hope it can be a game that I can 100%. Like, I know that sounds weird, but like, I have only ever completed the original trilogy. Every other Spyro game afterward, I don't care to finish. Or like, I don't care to complete. I can finish them, I guess, but like, some of them I don't care to finish, but like, I don't care, yeah, I don't care to complete, so I want it, like, I'm hoping that it'll be that good, and, you know, I can adapt to, like, whatever the new controls will be that well, that it will feel good to complete.
Yeah, I think I get what you mean. Like, if Spyro 4 eventually happens to be a thing, I do hope that it'll be something that makes me want to complete the game.
Yeah.
Well, Super Spyro was always, in comparison to Crash, Spyro was always the more casual experience. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not an insult to say that about Spyro, because it just was. That's the fact of it. Spyro is a more easygoing experience. I'm not saying it's easier or more of a baby's game than Crash. Definitely not. Hell, people still say that Treetops is a complicated level, and it's not, but whatever. Opinions. But anyway, But Spyro, like, was always had that more, especially Spyro 1 here, like, the vibe in this game, 2 and 3 had some, because they felt more was better, the vibe, the music, the characters, it was all upped. But Spyro 1 was a very casual experience, a very chill experience. The music was a little quieter sometimes, and, I mean, just compare the fucking first level of each game, and you immediately are like, yeah, no, Spyro 1 had a more chill vibe to it. Fucking Stonehill versus Glimmer or even Glimmer versus Sunnyvilla. Like, yeah. No. The two have not to say the other two are loud and annoying or rambunctious or bombastic. No, but they have their own energetic vibe. Spyro 1 does have energy, but in spurts. It is a way more chill experience overall, I would say.
I think the music also, like, you know, like, is a contributing factor in that too, because like Stonehill's music is not as energetic as Glimmer or Sunnyville.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But Spyro 1's music is its own thing too, because it reuses instruments every chance it can get per track. But the way they did it, it's very consistent. I wouldn't say it's repetitive or similar sounding, but it's very unique and it's very consistent. Spyro 2s and 3s, 2s was okay too because it was consistent and introduced new iconic instruments like the acoustic guitar, stuff because it's used in many different tracks, other instruments too. Spyro 3s, because it was split across the two composers and it just had a completely different vibe, it kind of lost what made, you know, Spyro 1 and 2's, mainly 1 soundtrack so iconic. And made that sound, that branded Spyro sound, I feel. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not saying Spyro 3's soundtrack was bad, but because it's not, but it is a little different in like a very kind of bizarre way. The one I'll always cite is that where can you hear it? I think it's the one from Enchanted Towers Skate Park. I think has that. It's that weird song.
Yeah.
I'd have to find it. I can't like comment or anything, but I'd have to find it and have y'all listen to it. But like, It's a weird one. I wouldn't call that a Spyro song. It's very odd. Very weird.
Sure. Let's just hold my thing.
I don't know. Like no one else.
Yeah.
I think that probably understands that.
What is that weird song? Like some of the tracks are cool. Like Desert Ruins is really cool. Gives me a very Spyro 2 vibe.
Oh yeah.
Frozen Altars is really good. I like that one. Some of the Speedways sound a little generic.
Yeah, Frozen Altars sounds really chill, actually.
Oh yeah, Frozen Altars is always one of my favorites. It's been one of my favorite levels in general. Like, a lot of it has to do with the music, but like, I really do like the atmosphere. Of course, penguins are fucking hilarious. I love them. The only thing I do not like about Frozen Altars is, it's stupid minigames.
Oh yeah. Yeah, just leave Bentley's boxing thing out, and it'll be a better level.
No, leave both of them out. I don't like the cat hockey either.
Cat
That
hockey,
sucks.
no.
Okay, yeah, leave that one out too.
It's a
yeah,
little better
music
than Reignited,
is-
but like, ugh.
Yeah, the music
No,
is
I wouldn't say
something
it is.
that,
A
that
little
just
bit,
tells
not by
you
much.
that you're in an ice level.
Yeah.
Okay, I found 2 tracks that, where I'm like, this is weird for Spyro music, but it's just my own personal opinion, to get my point across. Yeah, Enchanted Towers Skate Park was one. Also, Harbor Speedway is another one. They sound very not Spyro to me. Those might have been Ryan's pieces, who knows?
Yeah.
But maybe it's just the mission of the 2 styles.
No, I know
Ryan's
what you
and
mean.
Stewart's.
It does sound different. I'm gonna have to end off soon, but before that, I'm gonna do Treetops since it's my favorite level. So let's go.
Ah yes, ended on a high note. I like it.
I like Treetops a lot. I never had an issue with it.
Honestly, me neither.
I never
People's-
had the chance to have an issue because I had the guidebook when I was a kid.
Well,
Yeah, I
mean,
just don't know what people are complaining about.
yeah, well, I know what they're complaining about. I didn't have an issue with it too because I had PlayStation Underground. So one of the demo discs that I had a behind the scenes for Spyro where they showed you how to get to the little island. So I always remembered that.
Oh wow.
Now for anyone who either was too young to have PlayStation Underground, doesn't know what that is, or like what the podcast. No. That just makes me cry inside because it's now like a podcast, like little showcase kind of a thing, and it's not jam-packed demo disc like how we know it from back in the day. But for anyone who didn't have any of that, or just never had the chance to have it, the reason why they don't like this level is because they feel it's too convoluted, too confusing. There's too many supercharged platforms or areas and pathways kind of bend into one another and stuff.
If anything's convoluted and confusing when it comes to Supercharge, it's Haunted Towers. That's arguably the worst one.
Honestly, yeah, I agree.
Greetings,
It's
Spyro.
mostly because I don't like having to go back to certain things I missed while having to use the supercharged things.
Yeah. The one thing that always gets me about the Haunted Towers Supercharge is I never know where to jump. I keep forgetting if it's at the end of the ramp,
The
or if
slant.
it's at the
Yeah.
end of the platform.
No, it's definitely after the end of the slant, because it is kind of ramp-like, but it doesn't look ramp-like because they didn't want to give it away too much. They didn't want it to be too visually like, yeah, use this. But at the same time, I think they went a little bit in the opposite direction where it's like, oh, well then, this is what I'm supposed to jump off of? Like, how would I have known that? So I get it. Also, music with the 199 reality is often disappointing.
Thank you.
Thanos.
That was
No, for this level though, yeah, this does break the conventions of a traditionally designed Spyro level. It's just the fact that things wrap around each other, cross through one another, and you have to consistently backtrack, and it's just no other real Spyro level has you do that, because everything else is either a U shape, a circle, or some other weird, almost racetrack looking kind of shape that has a beginning and end where you can loop back around. This one doesn't. You have to just go around and wrap around everything. It's like you almost have to figure eight it, as it were.
Yeah.
So I like it about that. The fact that it's the only level like that, so it stands out for that reason alone. And the fact that there are no real landmarks, it is all literally in the trees. That's cool. It's a really unique idea. They never really did anything like this with Spyro over again that I can recall immediately anyway. Especially too, because even this, I mean, Spyro 2 and 3, they don't have uniquely designed levels like this. A lot of it is flat ground, and you're gliding from the only one I can think of that is even remotely maybe like that is maybe Breeze Harbor, maybe when you have to loop back around. there is this just gap of nothing, and you have to right back to the beginning.
Yeah.
But that's like kind of it. They kind of got rid of some of that stuff where you have to do these like crazy long glides and things like that over like bottomless pits and stuff. Like, I guess they felt it was too voidish, and they wanted to fill that space and make it feel more full. But in doing that, you kind of take away what made the platforming in this game so cool, in the sense that you can glide from this one lone platform to another lone platform, and that was satisfying.
Yeah.
Oh, Trace here, hello. And Hype, hello.
Hello, Trey.
Hey guys. Just finishing
Yeah.
up treetops before I end the stream.
And your boy Travis is here supporting Miharu.
Yay!
Oh, Super Tuck is leaving. See you later.
Yep.
Spyro,
Oh,
if
now
you jump
this
at
is
the end of
here
the
too.
supercharge ramp, you can really go far.
Hey.
You had a good birthday.
I'm all over it.
This is a hot take, but I would cut any minigames that don't use the same mechanics as the main gameplay. I understand. Yeah, see, because that was them trying to figure out, like, they really wanted to introduce variety. And
Yeah.
variety is a double-edged sword for certain franchises. So for, like, Crash and Spyro, doing, like all these vehicles for Crash or all these minigames for Spyro, like, it was double-edged, because some of them are fun, but it's the controls, or it's the time limits, or it's whatever. And it's shit that just kind of goes against what the main gameplay aspects for both franchises kind of were, which was just jumping on platforms, riding across platforms, and collecting. You still collect in, you know, some of these minigames and whatever else, sort of, but it's almost like a deviation, just to be like, hey, let's do this now, and it's like, oh, whoa, alright, this is flying a plane, or
Yeah.
boxing a fucking Yeti.
I did miss it.
That was- I think that was something I had said before. I was like, if they even remotely decide to bring minigames back for Spyro 4, yeah, it should be things that kind of more, you know, heighten, like, something to test your platforming skills or your skills with Spyro's abilities, which is why I want them to introduce new abilities. So, for example, I mean, Enter the Dragonfly almost kind of did this, sort of, but not really, because they opted to do the Spyro 3 thing, or even 2, where they introduce all these new breaths, and some of the mini games that are, you know, you don't have to do a portal, go through a portal to access or anything. You have to touch an NPC or do whatever to activate them. It's shit like flame all these, or put out all of these flaming like scarecrows within 40 seconds, and it's like, okay, so I have to stress out. Thanks for nothing. When like it should be like, hey, go through this little obstacle course and use your different breaths like accordingly, like where it's necessary to get through the course, and that would have been cool. And then glide over here to the next area and then do this. Like that would have been awesome. I want to see more mini games that utilize the platforming, the gliding, and abilities. Any new abilities that they decide to do, or even just your flaming and charging. Like just do shit with that. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, even if you're trying to do something like the platforming challenges from Enter the Dragonfly, I still think like those could have been really fun. They're a little jank in Enter the Dragonfly, of course, but I think if you tried to recreate those could be pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly, Jumpy. No, you're right. I do like the way the bosses were handled in Spyro 1 versus 2 and 3, where it was very neat to Spyro to actually theme a level and build a level around the boss, and you have to platform up to get to the boss.
Spyro.
That was, or chase the boss with blowhard. That's really cool.
Hi, Spyro.
And Spyro 2 and 3 are just like, here's an arena. Don't die. fight them, and it's like, okay, it's more video gamey and less like unique to Spyro, but like whatever.
Yeah.
I would definitely like for Spyro 4 to bring that back. Like, give the enemies, the bosses, their own levels. I would love to see that return.
Absolutely.
Because some people think when they review Spyro 1, especially if they didn't grow up with it, that it's lazy because they were like, oh, what? It's just like any other level. Like, well, that's not unique. Also, the boss doesn't even have a proper introduction. You just kind of see them, and they're treated like a big enemy. And it's like, well, okay,
It's like, yeah,
they are.
They are. They're
Well,
glorified enemies. That's what they are.
Yeah.
I think what I would like to see is at least an opening cutscene and then just break out into a full battle. That's what I look like.
Yeah,
That's what I would like to see.
And you can make them challenging, not like fucking spike levels of bullshit or whatever, but like give them enough variety per boss or whatever, so where it's not just chasing after them and flaming them or circling around them in an arena. Like, don't make them too easy, don't make them too hard. Try to find that middle ground where it's like a good solid fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
So is that it?
Yeah, I guess that's gonna be it for today. Does anyone have any plugs for their own stuff?
Oh yeah, I never said this earlier when I joined, but happy late birthday, Miharu.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're cool.
Thank you. No, you're.
No, shut up, you're cool.
No, we're all cool.
Do you have any plugs, Travis? Where can people find you? At your house? What's your address, Travis?
What's your address? We're gonna dox you, Travis.
Oh shit! No, I'm being doxxed. Oh no, my worst nightmare.
We're
You can find my
indoctrinating you
channel.
into our group by doxing.
You can find
It's
my
not
channel,
a cult.
obviously. Yeah, you can find my channel just by looking up my name.
Yeah, just
I make
put a little blah blah
content.
blah in the chat.
And did I mention that I draw and that I'm making a comic?
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Content creator and animator right here. Follow him on Twitter and the YouTubes.
Yeah, what you've just witnessed is a fellow content creator who happens to be a former source filmmaker, animator, and an artist. So there you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
For me, I'm a man. They found me off the street. No, so, I'll for anyone who's new in here and who's still around before we end, I'm gonna just, there's me. You can see my channel is that. I do Crash and Spyro content, plus other things, other games and whatnot. We're going to be streaming the Crash Team Rumble beta soon, so hopefully if you guys like what we do here, you can tune in for that on my channel on Thursday. Around like 1 or so p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
A certain cat character of mine, if you're familiar with her.
A certain, wait, what about her?
A certain cat character of mine that I'm sure some of you are familiar with.
Uh-huh.
Melina Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's her.
And then let's see what else. So we're streaming Rumble, the beta. Oh, we've got a lot of streams planned actually. There's that. I've got, in terms of videos, I just had one go up today about Crash Team Rumble. It's the perfect team. Who can make up the perfect team? And you can find me on Twitter, same handle, Destination Mark, where I just update y'all on streams and videos and retweet a lot of stuff. And that is pretty much it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we're all done here.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. Then, yep, that's gonna do it for the stream. Thank you all so much for joining. All the birthday wishes are very much appreciated. And as always, if you are new, don't forget to subscribe for more casual gaming content and join my Discord. There's a link in the description below. And I will see you next time. Until then, this is Miharu, signing off.
Bye. Take care and stay safe. Love you guys.
Yeet.